The fact is that Iowa had good, clean elections this November, as they have in the past, and without any reason other than to make voting harder. Iowa made voting harder. And that's the bottom line. And in doing that, they have disadvantaged our clients, and they have disadvantaged the voters of Iowa.
Mark, one of the reasons I wanted to talk with you tonight is because I feel like you have been impassioned in the last few weeks about the real threat, the severity of the threat coming from all of these Republican-controlled states that are passing one after, or that are at least moving one after another bills to make voting harder. And I know this is a fight that you have committed yourself to for your whole career, and this is something in which you've actually had a lot of success. But I feel like I'm reading in your public-facing statements real alarm about the amount of damage that can be done to the democracy right now by all these states pursuing all of these different paths.
Rachel, it's just different this time. And this is not to say that there are not other problems in the world. I recognize that there are other stories that have to be covered. But I am begging America and the media to pay attention to this. Right now, we are facing an avalanche of voter suppression that we have not seen before, at least not since Jim Crow, in state after state. It's not just Iowa. It's not just Georgia. It's not just Arizona. It's also Montana. It's also Missouri. It's also Florida. It's also Texas. The list goes on and on. Donald Trump told a big lie that has led to a assault on democracy in the Capitol on January 6th. The assaults we're seeing going on now in state capitals with the legislatures may be less deadly and be less violent, but they are every bit as damaging to our democracy.
If this is a national avalanche of voter suppression, as you describe it, is there a national response that is warranted from people who want to fight against this kind of voter suppression? Obviously, you're taking this on at the granular level. When Kim Reynolds in Iowa signed this bill, that became the first of these voter suppression laws actually signed into law, despite all the other ones that are moving fast in a lot of states. You were Johnny on the spot and filing a lawsuit instantly against it. You are fighting granularly. You're fighting on those front lines. What can happen nationally, or what can happen at the state level by non-lawyers, by citizens who care about these things?
Yeah, so two things. First of all, at the federal level, we need H.R. 1, and we need the reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act, the John Lewis bill. And we need them soon. At the state level, what people can do is they can stand up. They can tell their neighbors and their friends that this is not okay. They cannot avoid the hard conversation when their crazy uncle says something crazy. They can confront it. They can go to town halls and confront their local and state legislators. Now is the time to stand up in public and be heard in the town square and say, we demand our democracy be protected.
When you say that we need H.R. 1, that we need the voting rights, the restoration and advancement of voting rights that represented by that bill and by the John Lewis bill, the reason that there is cynicism that those will ever become law, even as H.R. 1 has already passed the House, is because of the existence of the filibuster in the Senate and the resistance of some moderate Democratic senators to get rid of the filibuster, even if they were only to sort of tailor the filibuster so that it couldn't be used to block voting rights legislation. It couldn't be used to block civil rights legislation, for example. I wonder if there's something that you would say to an Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema, for example, in terms of the stakes in Arizona and how that passing H.R. 1 by hook or by crook might save the country.
Here's what I'd say. There's a line from a Supreme Court decision of several decades ago that said the First Amendment is not a suicide pact. Well, neither are the Senate rules. The Senate rules are there to allow for minority participation in debate, but it's not a suicide pact by which democracy gets destroyed. So I don't know the right mechanism, but one way or another, we need to have Congress vote on H.R. 1 and the John Lewis bill, because whatever else is at stake, without a functioning democracy, we won't have anything else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you out there.
Thank you as always.
Thanks to you at home.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for letting us into your homes during these extraordinary times.